Welcome to ADHD Power Tools, where we give you the tools to unlock the power within. Hello, Brooke. Today I want to ask you, what's the link between hyperactivity and impulsivity? And what are some tools you can give us for both?
Sure. So there are three different types of attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. So one of them is ADHD impulsive and hyperactive. So they kind of go hand in hand because impulsive people can interrupt and take lots of risks that are just based on, not thinking it through and emotion. And hyperactive people also don't really slow down. They talk fast, they fidget, and have difficulty staying on task. So if you're impulsive, you're very often seen to be hyperactive as well. So just some tools when you are predominantly impulsive and hyperactive are to have a visual in your head of a stop sign. And before you send that text or before you say something that might not land right or overshare or, picture the stop sign and think about why you're doing it and if it's going to land well with other person. It's hard. It's hard. I'm not going to say that for people who have hyperactivity and impulsivity that this comes easy to them. But think of something, whether it be the stop sign or something else, that you can do before doing that thing, whatever that impulsive thing is. More tools for people who are hyperactive, embrace the hyperactivity. And, if you have a child who's hyperactive, get them involved in something where they are using their energy. So have them maybe do a sport where it requires a lot of running or a lot of energy and they can get that out. Have them do something where they thrive off of that involves their hyperactivity. And you will see that a lot of their energy is actually used up from that activity and they're not as hyperactive afterwards. So embrace the hyperactivity. I know for some people who aren't hyperactive, it can be a lot, especially if you are impulsive and you're talking over someone or interrupting someone. But here are just some tools to stop you from saying something or sending that text message or doing something based on impulsivity and feeling, and also let out that hyperactivity. Even the standing desks are really good for hyperactive people rather than sitting, or having something underneath your desk like this where you can like move around and stop it and fidget if you want to. There's no big deal about that, as long as you're not in a co-working space where it's bothering other people. So there are a lot of quiet things out there that aren't as distracting as clicking a pen or tapping a desk.
100%. When I think hyperactivity, I kind of think to myself, in a way, it's a superpower, and at the same time, it's not. The reason I think it is a superpower is having my mind racing nonstop, having the multiple open tabs, and just I think at certain times it kind of is released in a talkative way. I like talking a lot at specific times, especially in social situations. Now, obviously, I shouldn't be talking at certain times, but in social situations when I'm surrounded by lots of people, I'm known to be talkative. I'm known to, when there's that awkward silence, I'm the one to come in. I can't help myself and say hi. When I'm in the elevator with a random stranger, I'm going to ask them, hi, how are you? Instead of sitting there in that tense, awkward silence. I can't help it. I just want to talk, and I want to let out the information. I'm restless in a way. It's just that energized personality, that hyperactivity. So at the same time, it's not. There's moments where you shouldn't be talkative. And that's where I think, like you said, working out comes into play. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Working out helps me. I feel like all the tasks and all the stresses and things are on top of my shoulders, vertically. And when I work out, everything's laid down in front of me, um, just horizontally. I can see everything in front of me. I can relax. I take a deep breath, and that helps out a lot. Breaking that sweat. What you have under your desk too, like that, those little stress balls, the fidgeting.
Yes.
Yeah, I play with the ends of my shirt all the time. Some of my shirts, the ends, I forgot what they're called. The bottom of it, they're all ripped up. It's scary. My mom, my sisters, my girlfriend, they're all like, "This is crazy. That's all ripped up," because I like folding it and playing with it a lot. Sometimes I bite on my fingers. It's something I'm one of the people who does it, and it's something that comes with that hyperactivity, that fidgetiness, and
Mhm.
even when I was diagnosed with ADHD at 7 years old, I was sent to the principal's office multiple times. It was really bad. I couldn't stay in my seat. I would talk when I wasn't supposed to. The teacher would be talking, and I would just blab my mouth out of nowhere. It's the wrong timing. I went to Christ Church School. During church, everyone's quiet. I would just get up and start walking away, and that's obviously why I ended up getting diagnosed with ADHD, because they realized I was very hyperactive. And
Sure.
so the tools, like I said, that stress ball, keeping organized, taking a deep breath, and like you said, stop, look around, take a deep breath, take count to five, look, listen, feel, touch, and understand your surroundings. Understand that you can enjoy the moment quietly, peacefully, and don't let the hyperactivity and impulsivity take over.
Yeah. I love what you said about working out and how that gets you. I know you said taking your task from here and bringing it horizontally, and it gets you into that creative flow. A lot of us ADHDers who are hyperactive, impulsive, are hard chargers. If you look at Steven Kotler's website about flow states, some people get into flow in different ways. Some people do it by being in a quiet space. Some people do it by doing something really active. So that is your superpower. That's your flow state. You know, you work out and then you're in your flow. So I think that's great that you know that and you use that to your advantage. And I also love what you said about the fact that use tools, use the stress ball. You know, if you need to get out of your seat, obviously you have to get out of your seat. For a child with ADHD or undiagnosed ADHD, that's where you might find some issues in getting those accommodations to get out of your seat and walking around, or maybe taking a hall pass to another teacher, like taking a note to another teacher just to get this kid out of the seat. But that's why it's really important to get a diagnosis, to speak with your teachers if you're a parent of a child who you suspect has ADHD, and get those accommodations, because otherwise they're not meeting their potential and you're not leveling the playing field for a child with ADHD, especially hyperactivity impulsive. And the good thing, though, with hyperactive impulsive ADHD, which is more so seen in men than women, is that as you grow up, the
Mhm,
hyperactivity decreases a little
mhm,
bit more.
mhm.
So I'm sure you're not as hyperactive now as you were as a
100%.
child. So it does eventually decrease. ADHD does not go away, but it just presents maybe a little bit differently.
Oh yeah. Also something I feel like it transforms into like different ways, the hyperactivity impulsivity as you grow. Yeah, you're not as much as you used to be, but it's kind of maybe more mentally than physically. I something I think that my hyperactivity causes is that I get bored easily. I get bored pretty quick. I like to be on the move, and that has helped me a lot in my career choice and what I want to do in the future and what type of job and position I want to pursue in the future. That has helped me decide and be aware of what I want to do. What I mean by that is, for example, I used to work part time as a server. I still do, but not that much because I got a new job. But as a server, I loved it so much. I was always on the move. I had six tables. I saw new faces. I served different specials every week, and I was always moving back and forth. There was different personalities, different faces, different wants and needs, and different situations I had to solve. A lot of critical thinking, And
Mhm.
that satisfied my hyperactivity and my hyperactive mind so much. Um,
Mhm.
Making those important decisions. What do they want? Going food running, grabbing them the extra side. Do they have an allergy here? And seeing the new faces moving back and forth through the restaurant, that satisfied me so much. And I want to go to medical school. That's my goal. My goal is to become a physician one day. And to apply to medical school, you want some sort of clinical hours. You want to have in a clinical setting patient contact, patient care hours. And there's so many ways you can do that by scribing, getting a nice sitting at a desk office job, in the ER or in a doctor's office, a clinic, or working as an EMT, emergency medical technician, which is what I'm doing right now. And I chose that because that's the same sort of energy I want. Something that kind of helps me not get bored easily. It's something new all the time. It's that emergency feel. I'm seeing new faces, new problems, new diagnoses, and new areas and settings all the time. I'm driving to different hospitals all over the place. And, one of the few interests I have is emergency medicine. I would love to be an ER doc because of that new every day. Getting bored easily is just not existent in that area.
Sure, sure. That's why a lot of people who have ADHD and are hyperactive are so good at hands-on types of jobs. So that
100%.
that's great.
100%.
And I forgot to mention that if you do have ADHD combined, you do have some of the symptoms from hyperactivity impulsive combined. So I sit here and I fidget with my rings and my necklace, and I have to get up. I also get bored very easily. I have my fidget thing down here. Sometimes I need to be listening to music while I'm doing something else. So yeah.